In Afghanistan, airlines don't use dynamic pricing. The cost for a seat is the same a month out as it is the day before. But that fixed airline price isn't the price you pay because you can't buy that ticket online. You have to walk into a travel agency where the price is anything but fixed. This is how flying in Afghanistan really works.
Afghanistan has 4 main commercial airports. Kabul International Airport is the country's primary hub and the only airport with significant regular international service. Kandahar Airport serves the south. Herat Airport connects the west. Mazar-e-Sharif Airport handles traffic for the northern provinces. These 4 airports cover the 4 major population centers and run domestic routes between them. For many journeys inside Afghanistan, flying is the fastest option by a wide margin. Road travel between cities can take many times longer.
Almost no one in Afghanistan books a flight online. The reason is the payment infrastructure. Some Afghan banks offer international payment cards, but those cards work in one direction only. Payments go through. Refunds do not come back. If a flight is canceled and the airline issues a refund, that money does not return to the card. It disappears into the system. The financial risk alone is enough to make in-person booking the practical standard. The second reason is price. The fixed rate you'd find online is the airline's price, not the one you'll actually pay. At an agency, that price is negotiable.
Travel agencies are where Afghans buy flight tickets. They are not a workaround or a relic of a pre-internet era. They are the normal channel. Agencies operate across Afghan cities, take a commission on every ticket, and absorb the direct dealings with airlines, the paperwork, the currency conversion, and the back and forth that most travelers prefer to hand off. You walk in, sit across from an agent, and the transaction begins.
The first offer is never the real one. Agents open with the least convenient travel dates at the highest available price. This is not a mistake or a pressure tactic. It is the standard starting position, understood by both sides. A traveler who accepts the first quote without pushing back has almost certainly overpaid. The agent's goal is to maximize the margin. The traveler's goal is to reduce it. Both sides consider this normal. The negotiation is the process.
Both the price and the travel date are open to negotiation. If an agent offers Thursday at a given price, it is worth asking what other days look like and whether the price moves with them. The leverage is comparison, signaling that you intend to check a second agency or that you are ready to walk and come back. Agents with access to the same routes and similar inventory will often match a realistic counteroffer. When both sides settle, the money changes hands in cash and the ticket is printed.
One detail that catches travelers by surprise: 2 agencies quoting the same price in US dollars may not be offering the same cost in Afghani. Each agency sets its own exchange rate, and they vary. If you are paying in Afghani, comparing quotes only in dollar terms gives you an incomplete picture. Convert both prices to Afghani before deciding. The gap between 2 agencies' exchange rates can be significant enough to matter on the total cost of a ticket.
The documents you need depend on the type of flight. For an international flight, a valid passport is required to purchase the ticket, and both the passport and a valid visa are required to board. For a domestic flight within Afghanistan, the requirements are simpler. No identification is needed to buy a ticket, and none is required to board. In both cases, one document is mandatory before you can enter the airport at all: a printed ticket. Without it in hand, you will not get through the entrance.
Arrive 3 hours before your flight. That window covers check-in, security, and the terminal, and leaves room for the unexpected. For international flights with a major airline, you can check the flight status on the airline's website before leaving. For domestic flights, there is no equivalent. Real-time status for domestic routes is not available in advance. If a domestic flight is canceled, you will find out when you arrive at the airport. Build enough time into your plan to make alternative arrangements if needed.
Domestic delays of around 1 hour are common and are considered normal, not a failure, simply part of how the system runs. Outright cancellations on domestic routes are rare. International flights are generally more predictable. Taken together, the picture is straightforward. Flying in Afghanistan works, just on its own terms. Buy in person, bargain on both price and date, bring a printed ticket, arrive early. Once you have those covered, you've learned a system that runs entirely on relationships and cash instead of algorithms, and it works.
To learn more about travel in Afghanistan, visit aboutafg.com.